guys, I'm Riley.
And I'm Audrey.
And welcome to the Dramatic Effect podcast, where we dive into all things film, books, Broadway, and beyond.
1 part book club, 1 part TV movie binge, and all parts drama.
Thank you for listening to Dramatic Effect, the podcast where we dive deep into all things TV, movies, and Broadway.
Today, we have an important message to share with all of our amazing listeners out there. It's about something that affects so many women, but often goes unmentioned: vaginal care.
We know it's not the most glamorous topic, but it's a crucial part of our overall health journey. And that's why we want to introduce you to Refresh products.
Refresh Vaginal Gel is a game changer. It's designed to balance your vaginal pH, eliminate feminine odor for up to 3 days, and relieve discomfort caused by dryness. Best of all, it has no deodorizing scents or perfumes, so you can feel fresh and confident.
Absolutely, Audrey. And let's not forget about Refresh Pro B, a daily oral probiotic supplement. It's clinically tested and formulated to help you maintain your vaginal care by balancing yeast and bacteria. It's as simple as taking 1 pill a day.
The Refresh brand understands the importance of overall vaginal care. It's something that should be a part of everyone's health routine, and these products make it easy.
Couldn't agree more. And the best part is, our listeners can take action today. Just head over to the link in our bio to purchase Refresh products and experience the difference for yourself.
That's right, Riley. Don't wait another day to prioritize your vaginal care. Visit the link in our bio.
We're so grateful to Refresh for supporting our podcast and helping us spread the word about these amazing products. Together, let's make vaginal care a priority and take control of our health.
Absolutely. And thank you, our incredible listeners, for tuning in. Remember to take care of yourselves, and remember, your health and your happiness matter. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Dramatic Effect. I'm Audrey.
And I'm Riley.
And today we are going to talk about something that it's kind of been a hot topic, but not really, honestly.
Not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Well, because it's not what people thought it would be.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's the Bama Rush documentary. I have a lot of things to say about it. I'm excited to talk about it.
Me too.
Because being somebody that was in a sorority and loved their sorority, I have so many different things to say. So yeah, I feel like you feel the same way.
I too was in a sorority and loved my sorority. And we talked about this a little on the last episode, but I was in a sorority at Penn in Philadelphia at a school with only 8 sororities. Not Rush just wasn't that intense for us. You didn't need letters of recommendation. You didn't need I actually don't even we got letters of recommendations for girls, and I swear some of the Rush chairs just were oh cool, set them to the side. It didn't even matter. And then we also rushed second semester, which really is just a different ball game completely.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Same thing with us.
So for context on the Bama Rush front, they go a week early, right? The girls move in early to school.
Yep.
It's intense, the rounds, and I think they have, I can't remember the names of all the rounds, but it's the first one where you meet all the girls, and then it's sisterhood round, philanthropy round, pref.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But those rounds are days and days long, which for me, those rounds were 1 day.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I think Rush for me was a total of 4 days.
Yeah, same.
And it was exhausting. So I can't imagine.
Yeah.
One thing they have going for them that I did not have going for me in West Philly in January is that the weather's nice. We were all getting so sick because we would stand outside the houses.
Oh my God.
In our dresses to go into the house, but bare legs, freezing cold. And then we'd we'd give them all our coats. And it was madness at the end of, the round, trying to get people their coats back.
Ours was similar, only pref round though, because pref round was the only round that was in the actual houses. Because our houses were really small. Our houses were really small. So it was only 13 girls lived in the house.
How many people were in your pledge class?
65. How many were in yours?
Only 50, so that's actually bigger.
A little bit bigger, but Elon was similar. It was small. Also, Elon is a smaller school. It is in the South, so that makes it, I would say, a little bit more traditional sorority, but the Rush process was nothing too crazy. And I really enjoyed it, even though it was tiring. Yeah. I for us, you talk to them in these big conference room, not even just like big meeting rooms, and then like the gym. It's like everybody would just be spread out around campus.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and you would hope every year as the sorority that you would get a good room for the first two rounds.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's like sometimes if you got the gym, it would echo in there, so you couldn't hear anybody, or you would get one of those smaller rooms that would be really like cramped, and then you also couldn't hear anybody.
Right.
And yeah, so you always prayed for a good room, but it wasn't in the houses.
so
Only Pref was in the houses, which was cool. I liked Pref.
I guess because Pref is the smallest round.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is, I don't know how secret it's supposed to be. Not that I care. I'm not anymore, but like Pref,
yeah.
like, we have like rituals that we do at Pref that like I think are like some of the only moments in my time in a sorority that like we like always joke it was like a culty night because we would like tie a little like friendship bracelet around them and do that. Like we'd all wear white. I was in Tridel.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
And you were in DG?
No, Zeta.
Zeta. Oh,
I was in Zeta.
I thought DG.
Yeah, we didn't have DG at Elon,
No.
but yeah. So every sorority has like rituals during Pref, and rituals during. I mean, you know, like there's like formal chapter where you have like rituals during that, and then
we didn't have formal chapter. Like we literally just had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just had.
Oh my god.
No, like that's how casual
It was so annoying. We hated it.
I'm sure that sucked.
It was annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't like super strict about it or anything, but it's like, you know, you had to do like, we had a secret knock. I won't tell you.
Would you do it at the house?
No. Like literally would do it in a classroom. But yeah, you had like the secret knock and everything. I won't do it because
chapter was kind of fun though. Like on a
you could
Sunday,
probably find it online if you guys really want to know.
The Zeta secret knock.
Yeah.
Well, I do know the handshake for like my dad's fraternity. Like sometimes I'll like be talking to a guy. I'm like, oh,
yeah, we have a
"We're in,
handshake
like, that
too.
Fraternity, and I'll like do it, and they'll be like, you're not supposed to know that.
Wait, is it Sig High?
Yeah,
I know it too.
Oh
they
my
told
God.
me. They told me.
Oh my
yeah.
God, yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll have to do it
like
offline.
I mean, it's like the.
Yeah, isn't it like this?
Yeah.
Because my dad and my grandpa were both in Sigma Chi, and so like they were into it. My dad was president.
Oh no way!
But we also at Penn had secret societies that like weren't secret.
Wait, what? We did not have that.
So,
well, also Penn is different because it's an Ivy League.
Yeah,
Ivy Leagues I feel like definitely have that, even if they don't have Greek life.
Well, Yale even more so. Like Yale and Harvard, I think, have some like crazy secret societies.
Yeah, that's
but
crazy.
Penn had like a couple. Like my friends were in them. I think honestly, most of them are more of like senior societies, but they also.
And so, what did those societies do necessarily?
They were like an extension of drinking clubs. So like there was one that I think there was one that was like Wharton only, and I think my brother was in it. And I think my brother was in a couple there, and it was called like Lantern, and they would have like two people from all the like top tier like frats and sororities. And so like one of my girlfriends was in it, and then like so many of my friends were in the one for like the college. And I remember it was like so tough when applications came out because first you'd get tapped. So you would get like an email saying like someone has tapped you to come like apply, and then you'd have to go to like the social event and like talk to people, and like the goal was to talk to the people in the society that like weren't in your sorority or fraternity, so like try to branch out to new people in the society so that when it came down to like them looking at your applications, like there'd be more people vouching for you than just like you're big. And like my cousin's boyfriend at the time was the one who like tapped me. So the applications for that though, it's like there's no actual like school like institutional backing to it. So the application was literally like, tell us about your craziest hookup. Like, what's the most embarrassing thing you've done? Like, they were like the craziest stories. Like, one girl told a story about like accidentally wiping her ass with a Lysol wipe, like bleach wipe, instead of a makeup wipe. Or a baby wipe or something like that. And like going to the emergency room. Like, it was stuff like that. So like we got super cutthroat because like my entire friend group that I lived in the house with, like most of us were tapped in the same semester.
Okay.
And so we're all like secretly in our rooms, like
and they only accept
accepted like half my friend group. So it was like tough too, because then like they all went for like their like.
Wow, that's like kind of, I feel like that's a little silly. Like what was the point of it though? So like if you got in, what did you even do?
You got to like make friends in other fraternities.
But you could do that anyway.
I think it just helped facilitate it. It ended up being fine because like they would have like formals and everyone would just like bring each other as their dates.
Oh, okay.
But at first it was like feelings got hurt type of vibe.
Yeah.
So it was like just kind of funny because there was like, I thought I was already in my sorority and had my friends, and now I have to get cut again. Like,
wait, that's so annoying. See, that seems a little silly.
Yeah.
And pointless.
Yeah. And then there were people who were in 2 or 3. And then the one that my dad and like aunts and uncles were all in, I didn't even get tapped for because it was like leaders on campus.
Oh, okay.
And like my dad was like captain of the lacrosse team and like president and like qualified.
Yeah.
And I remember running into, that one's more like institutionally backed, like by the school and stuff. So it was more formal. So I had to like go talk to like a like actual like 50-year-old woman who like knew my dad. And she was just like, yeah, I just don't think it's for you. And I was like,
oh my God. Wait, that's so crazy. The only thing that we even had remotely close to that was like the business fraternities. But like it wasn't even that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the point of that was.
Yeah.
I think it was, to just like meet more people and have more connections.
An extra level of socializing.
Yeah. But other than that, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
Or maybe we did and I just didn't know about it.
Yeah,
but
so true. But I don't, because like the secret aspect is never so secret. But so we see the machine in the Bama Rush, so back to Bama Rush. Mm-hmm. And it was reminding me of like in those, did you see those like OG social media videos? Like they were like interviews where they're going up to people at like a Bama game and they're asking students like, what's the machine?
No.
Oh my God, it's crazy. So literally these kids are like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. What is that? Like they know exactly how to answer that question.
Yeah, they can't. What I thought was so funny was when they asked the Zetas about it, they said, we don't really know what that is. Like people always ask us, but we don't know.
Yeah,
and I was like, you guys
that?
know exactly what it is. And then there's that other kid he was explaining it and he was like, the machine is somebody who it's the society from each fraternity or sorority. They have a representative and it controls the elections. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That was like scary. Like controls school elections.
Have you ever heard of it before the documentary, or like do you know any friends that went to Alabama?
I don't know anyone that went to Alabama, but I just had known about it from those videos.
Yeah. So one of my best friends went to Alabama, and machine don't come after her. I don't think they will. I don't think anybody's gonna see this. Yeah, but basically I said to her, because I think maybe I did see one of those videos or something, or like heard about it, maybe on TikTok, and I was like, is this real? And she was like, no, yeah, it's very much real. But basically all it is just like you have a rep from each Greek life. They control the elections. They basically just control what goes on at Alabama.
Right.
Which, I don't know. To me, I'm like, okay, it's not that crazy.
No. But then when you kind of start to think about like how much it can actually, like the ripple effect of it, I feel like is kind of crazy. Like they talked about like how like people, go on to like run for like in actual politics, like in beyond student government.
Oh, did they say something like that?
Yeah, this guy said like I owe my career to like being like to the machine. Like he's a journalist. Like
what?
They got me my job. Like they kind of like went into like it going beyond just student body stuff.
Maybe I don't know. All I know was that it was just like student body politics.
Right.
It definitely had and it has an impact on. But other than that,
but then they also had some of those excerpts that were like there was like physical violence.
Oh, I don't think I paid attention at that point.
It was like one of those like little montages to like creepy music,
which also the music, I was like, come on.
I mean, that was one of my biggest notes. It's like, what are you trying to do?
What if you're doing like creepy music talking about maybe like hazing or the really creepy rituals, that would make sense.
Exactly.
That would make complete sense.
Or the machine, when they were excerpts of like this account that a student had that like they basically were like beating up some girl and she had like a knife like cut on her face.
Oh my God.
Yeah, her name was Riley too in the
no way
excerpt.
Oh jeez.
But and like the quote was like, they put her up against a wall and said like, don't fuck with us. So
oh my God.
It seems like they're very aggressive in the way that they go about enforcing.
Yeah,
what they're meant to
I feel like
enforce.
they definitely were years ago, a long time ago.
Right.
Now I don't think as much.
So-
because I also don't think that my friend would have openly told me about it
if she was like scared.
she was scared of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, one of the biggest takeaways I had is that the Greek system at Alabama didn't integrate until 2013.
Oh, yeah. Did you not know that?
I didn't know it was the system.
You didn't know that? Yeah, it's so
No.
fucked up. It's gross.
Fucking insane.
Yeah, it's actually bizarre.
I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe in the 21st century there was a time where they had segregated Greek life.
Yeah, no.
At a university,
I
at a
mean-
massive university.
Yeah, it's gross. It makes me like sick to my stomach. I can't even imagine that even when I was 13 years old, like there was still segregation at the University of Alabama for their fucking sororities.
Yeah. So crazy.
Insane and terrible. And I'm so glad that obviously that's not the case anymore. But
yeah. It's very eye-opening.
yeah, it's eye-opening.
It's in perspective. Like that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. And, that's why obviously a lot of women of color prefer to join a sorority in the Divine Nine, which is totally understandable.
Yeah.
Because, they feel maybe more accepted there. At Elon, we only had a few of them. We didn't have all of them, but I know a lot of people that, chose to join those sororities instead, and they loved their time there. So, it's just still, it's crazy to me that, you weren't even allowed the choice.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's
really crazy.
Yeah. One of the first lines that opens the movie is, "Not to be dramatic, but this HBO documentary could be the end of Greek life as we know it."
I wrote that down.
I was like, that is so dramatic for no reason. It's not going to be the end of Greek life.
No one cares that much.
No, exactly.
First of all.
And I guess I was like, who literally said this? And they were being dead ass.
No,
and it was a girl on TikTok because they show it later. Her TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, oh my God. That was just so funny to me. I just had to say that.
Yeah, and it's funny, we already brought up the music, but one of the first things I also put was the haunting TikTok montage to kick it off.
Haunting.
It's like
Also, my thoughts, I was like, did they have to give permission?
I didn't think about that until the very end. Yeah.
You definitely had to give permission.
Yeah, because I used to work in streaming movie making of this type.
Yeah.
And you very much have to ask permission.
Yeah, because I would have
use people's social media in that way.
It's crazy.
Which I'm surprised. I guess none of the videos were super incriminating to any of the people who
No.
posted them of. So
Yeah.
But yeah, those the montages, it's I don't know, they couldn't do anything to make it seem fun and cool. It's all just had to seem like this was gonna take a dark turn.
Yeah.
And
it didn't.
it didn't.
It never took a dark turn. Only maybe the girls that were dropping, but it's even the ones that dropped didn't have necessarily anything bad to say about Greek life. They were just yeah, I just don't
not
really
for
think
me.
it's for me.
I just felt the documentary lacked substance about their actual experience going through Rush.
Exactly.
We talked to them for a whole year leading up to it, but we didn't actually hear.
But then
if they
by
got
the
caught from
time-
a house that they
yep.
were upset about.
Exactly.
It seemed like everything worked out the way it was meant to, which is a good message to send about Rush, and we can go into maybe more of our personal Rush experiences.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's always a friend who gets cut from one that they wanted to be in. There's always a fight about two friends doing a different sorority. There's
Yeah,
some
they didn't
dynamics
even show any of that.
I felt it missed. And instead we get 30 minutes of the director's personal story about alopecia. And there were one or two moments where I was yeah, okay, this is a good way to tie it back. But
yeah, a good comparison.
it's a good comparison, but why do I care about you? And just from
Yeah.
an entertainment perspective. And I do think it was interesting at the end because I tried really hard to be okay, I feel for her story. And the drama of when the New York Times article comes out and she's well, I'm the only bald person walking around, so I have to put a wig on. And I was okay, that is kind of scary. If you think
Yeah.
people are out to get you, put on the wig. But then she kind of dressed up like a little girl
Yeah,
and
that was a
stood
little
outside the
weird.
sorority. That
weird.
was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this. And then she had said in the end of the documentary, she's like, when I went into this, I was like, Roll Tide. And she said,
Yeah.
they think I'm trying to ruin their tradition. I'm like, weren't you?
Are.
That's exactly what you were trying to do.
You're trying to like blow the lid on
You're trying to expose it and make it something that it's not. Like, I'm sorry, when people, there's not really any secrets to the Rush or sorority process other than like rituals.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's really no secrets. It's like you rush, people vote on you, you vote on them.
Yeah.
It's a mutual voting process. Now, any kind of secrets that maybe they're talking about, but they actually didn't even touch on them. They didn't even touch on being blacklisted and that kind of stuff.
I was so bothered they didn't touch on
that.
being blacklisted.
Or
they
like,
mentioned it
or
like once.
did they?
That girl Holiday, when she ended up not even signing up for Rush because she like overheard someone saying that she's blacklisted.
Oh yeah.
But like that's a topic.
Was she blacklisted from every sorority or just one?
She had like heard she was blacklisted from every sorority, so she's like, it's not worth my time to Rush. But
yeah,
like,
that's pretty
I
shitty.
think is a fascinating topic.
It is.
Like I went into college like so scared of being blacklisted, but it's just like not a thing at Penn.
Yeah, it's not a thing at Elon either, except if you actually like have done something like very like there's evidence. It's I think they call it questionable reputation. So you have to submit like literal evidence of this person being a bad person.
Right.
It's not allowed to be she hooked up with my ex-boyfriend or even literally hooked up with my current boyfriend. Like literally my boyfriend cheated on me with her.
Right.
That is not a valid reason.
Right.
It's not a valid reason. And yeah, which like sometimes could suck for, if you're in the sorority and you're like, I know this girl like literally was so terrible to like me and my friends or like my friend in high school, like she's really a mean person. Sometimes that it doesn't hold weight if it doesn't have evidence. But I think Alabama is definitely different.
Definitely.
I think you can be 100% blacklisted from certain sororities, if not all of them, which is so crazy.
So crazy.
And that's terrible and awful because then girls that, maybe are just a little bit misunderstood don't even get the chance to find their people, which is not fair.
Yeah.
And I don't think that everybody should be blacklisted from every single sorority. But if there is a place where, maybe you were terrible to a person that's in that organization, maybe you shouldn't be in that sorority.
Yeah, just go to a different one and find people.
Especially in Alabama, there's a million sororities.
Yeah, so to that point, there is something to be said for going to a school with that many sororities, like you can find your place.
Yeah.
Whereas I do think something about like in my experience at Penn with Rush, something that got so cutthroat was the fact that there really were only like 2 to 3 top houses.
Mm-hmm.
And so not everyone was a fit for those houses.
Yeah.
But if they weren't like the tier system was just like, oh, these are the top houses and then there's everything else because it's only 5 other houses.
Yeah.
So
Elon was only 9. So it was similar. It was like 3 top and then 6 others.
And I had a couple experiences where like a family friend or a cousin or someone would come through Rush and I would, want them to make it through tried out.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't a fit. And
where
no
it's like
reflection on them.
It's literally not a reflection on you. It's a reflection of who's going to be your best friends and like who do you have the most similarities with? It might just not who do you mesh the most with?
Yeah.
And it's just not those girls. Like, and that's what I loved about Rush was that I found people that I could relate to and were similar enough to me and like not similar enough, but like I meshed with.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Like that's how it's supposed to be. And that's the reason why it's mutual selection and why you're voting. And while that can seem really superficial,
it can,
it's really not because it's based on like the conversations that you have with these girls, and they're actually pretty long conversations. Like you talk to someone for 45 minutes straight.
Exactly. And so the first round is usually when it's like, okay, things can slip through the cracks because you
literally
had 4 minutes to talk to this person and they just like, you didn't mesh right away.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's like dating.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like you're literally speed dating and you get to talk to someone for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And for us, I'm assuming, I think this is a Panhellenic thing, that like, you know, when you're done, you go upstairs, you're not allowed to talk, and you place your vote.
Yeah.
And then the vote is in. And then you can go and you can talk about like who you liked and didn't like unofficially, because you're still not supposed to talk about who you talked to.
Yep.
But I think that's like something that like people on the outside didn't understand, was like, this random girl that I've never met before doesn't know that that's my cousin.
Yeah.
And she's talking to her. And, you know, she's just going to go and put her vote in based on those 4 minutes that she talked to this person.
Yeah.
And literally it could be like you know, I forget what the ranking was, but it was like a 1 to 5 or something. And like 1 was like, you want them to be your little. Like you never gave anyone a 1.
Yeah.
And then there was like
Exactly.
a 5, which was like, you just don't think it's a match. And like, a lot of people, you just kind of voted in the middle. So it's
Which
like,
always made it so hard
Yeah.
because then during voting you would be like, who talked to this girl? Why is she has great scores? Who talked to her? And then nobody would talk, and you would be like,
yeah, exactly.
guys, we need to know who talked to her so that we can place her well. Like it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so
Exactly.
annoying. It was so annoying.
And they didn't touch on like the behind the scenes, like with pref. Like you could pref someone, but they could not pref you back, and like it could. Not be
I
a
wonder
match.
if that was literally like legally the
Like, you can't
sororities
give
probably were
Panhellenic.
like, we're not letting you do that. Which also I couldn't believe that active members agreed to do the documentary.
Neither.
I couldn't believe it.
I'm still scared for what is happening to the PNMs who agreed to do it.
I
Like, I know
know.
Shelby ended up in a top house.
Is she still in FIMU?
No, I don't know. I'm assuming so, but like, could they kick her out over that? Also, this is the thing with Rush.
Well, she dropped though. She
No,
dropped out.
Shelby dropped out of the
Wait, see
documentary.
where are the Bama Rush girls now?
Shelby was
Shelby.
the one who stopped doing the documentary, but she was like the really type A one who was like super prepared.
Yeah, she's still in FIMU.
But like the girl who got kicked out for them suspecting her to wear a microphone,
That sucked.
I felt so
What a
bad
shame.
for her. Like, what a shame. And it just like made me think about how like once a decision is made, they don't undo it for that year. Like they're not putting you back in the Rush system. You don't get the chance to finish out Rush that year. Like you're done.
Yeah, I mean, and then Isabel is still in Alpha Delta Pi. But yeah, I wonder if that affected them socially. Like if people like say anything to them because of it.
But they spoke very, very highly of Rush. So I
know,
would be
so
really
I don't
angry
think-
with HBO if I were them, because of how they kind of ended up taking the turn in the movie.
But how did you think it was going to be perceived?
yeah, no, 100%.
Like that's what also like the active members, like I don't understand why they agreed to do it. But I will say the Zeta girls, they fucking killed it. The Sigma Kappa girl spoke so weirdly about being in a sorority. She was like, well, they have us be a Sigma Kappa first and then you're a person. I was like, what?
Yeah, she
and
had
then
some
the
weird
Zeta
takes.
girls.
But
yeah.
okay, just a side note about her before
Yeah.
I move on to the Zeta girls is like, she would say things like that, but then she'd be like, I've met the best people of my life in the world in my
Yeah.
sorority.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess maybe her qualm is more like with the system and not the people. So she didn't want to get in trouble because she wants to stay surrounded by those people. I don't know. But the Zeta girls.
But then they said one of the Zeta girls, she said, I'm not really a sorority girl. I'm a woman in a sorority. I was like, period. Exactly. Like, and they were talking about how everybody has all these expectations of them just because they're in a sorority and thinks that they're a certain way just because they're in a sorority. And that's just not true. Like they just are a part of this organization because they found girls that they loved. And I was like, fucking period. Like that's exactly what it is. That's all it is. And I think that people want to make it a lot more than
A lot more
just
like
what it is.
Culty, darker,
Evil,
and more
darker.
screwed up.
I think that maybe in years past it was that way. I
Yeah.
think maybe back in like the 80s and 90s,
yeah.
early 2000s.
Probably Y2K.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that's not how it is anymore because with social media, everything, you just can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. Were you hazed?
So not really.
I wasn't hazed at all.
Like, yeah, we had like fake hazing where we would like we had like a pledge master who would like yell at us if we like didn't represent the sorority right at meetings and stuff. And, like, made us like, you know, like, oh, Riley, I heard you did this at a mixer. So like all day Wednesday you have to wear all pink.
Wait, that's so funny.
And we had to, it's actually really funny.
I mean, that's like.
And so, no, it was, no, like our hazing was like always in good spirit. And one of my best friends was the pledge master for our year. And she had them all wear bucket hats with their names on it.
No
so they
way.
could all learn each other's names.
Oh, that's smart.
And everyone in the sorority could be like close.
I love me. That's smart. No, that's a great idea.
No, well, literally, because you would know everyone's name.
Yeah,
like,
you have to know everyone's name.
And so it was great because, and then like you would see girls walking down Locust, which is like our main walk, and
you would know.
You would know. Oh, okay, yeah, she's in my pledge class. And like,
and then also if older girls saw you, then they would talk to you.
It was so good for that too. Like it was actually just like a really like great idea.
Yeah.
And we had buddy days. So you'd like, there'd be like on Tuesdays, there'd be pairs of two girls in white bucket hats walking around campus. And it's funny because the like rabbi that was like head of like the halal group on campus wrote an email about how like he thought the white hats were such a great representation of like being a part of community.
Aww.
And it was like, we first like got the email and we're like, oh shit, like, are we in trouble?
Aww.
And he like had written this email like saying like it was a great like signature,
cute.
like signifying that we were all in the same community.
Yeah.
And then we got in trouble with Panhellenic. And then we had to cut the hats. It was so, and we had an Instagram called the White Bucket Hats. And like,
oh my God.
Every week there was a pledge that would have to like post on the White Bucket Hat.
Oh my God,
Instagram.
that's so funny.
And then we would, every week we would have a pledge, write like a newsletter, but it would be like, or like a weather report.
Oh, weather pledge. I mean, well, that was the boys. The boys did that.
Yeah.
Boys
so like,
did that. We literally, like when I tell you, we did not get hazed. We didn't get hazed. And I found out later that people in other organizations did at my school.
Oh, wow.
That I, fully like going through college, I thought, oh, yeah, no, like
not at Elon.
Not at Elon, but they did. And I found that out like senior year. And I was like, are you joking?
You know that.
Well, no, because they're so secretive about it. They don't want people to know.
Yeah.
They don't want people, I mean, obviously. But at least you would think that like your close friends from other organizations would be like, yeah, no, we did. But I didn't find that out until later.
Interesting.
And they were like, you didn't? They like couldn't believe that we didn't. And I was like, no. And to this day, people still like will be like, Audrey, come on. And I'm like, we actually did not get hazed. Like we got like literally yelled at, but it was just because of like, yeah, you didn't. It was like, stand up and say the name of the girl next to you.
Right. Yeah,
and then say the name of the girl next to you and where she's from.
Yeah. No, like they would always be like blah blah blah, stand up, and then you'd like get called out in front of everyone.
They wouldn't call us out about anything. They would just say stand up and tell us the name of the girl next to you and where she's from.
You wouldn't even have like scary basement meetings where you like thought you were all getting in trouble type vibes. Like that was our thing. Was like we always thought we were getting in trouble.
Like yeah, like but no. So they would like do that and they would say, you don't know her fucking name?
Yeah.
And then they would yell at us being like, you're literally having this new member period where you are supposed to be getting to know each other and like spending all your time with each other. And we are, planning all these events for you guys to get to know each other. And you don't know the girl next to you's fucking name? Like, that's fucked up, which
it's true.
It was true. It was right. It was like, you're spending all your time with these girls and you don't know her name?
Yeah.
It's disrespectful and it's mean to not know
100%.
who's around you. So it made sense. Like, it literally made sense. Like, you're supposed to be in the sorority to bond and make friends. And if you aren't doing that,
why are you here?
It made sense that you were yelled at. So, but 100%. That was literally all that we did.
Well, like the horror stories though you hear is like girls like go, strip down in your underwear, sit on a running washing machine, and they would like take markers.
Yeah, I think they
jiggle.
I think they did that.
Yeah,
I think they might have done that at Elon. I don't know.
No, like that's crazy.
I don't know.
Like I know a friend of mine had to like eat a bottle of sriracha or something. Like she can't.
Oh yeah, it was stuff like that. It might have been stuff like that.
By the way, I mean, we don't even want to go down the rabbit hole of fraternities, but my brother, his fraternity, there was something that involved apple cider vinegar that like he would have to like eat it a lot or something or drink it a lot. And he like literally can't have like certain salad dressings to this day.
No, that's terrible.
Of pledging.
Fraternity hazing is next level.
Next level. I think something that the documentary did do a good job of is talking about like the impact of body image.
Totally, yeah.
A lot of the girls, I mean, look, they could have actually done a much better
I think they could have done it better, but
they at least
they touched on it.
A lot of these young girls were like, I think boys have made me feel the way I feel about my body.
That was the Kit and I were actually talking about this because like there are so many things like in my life, like I would actually not be insecure about it if a boy had not sent it to me when I was younger. It wasn't girls. It's not girls. Actually, high school maybe.
But like that might have been internalized from another boy for that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So it's like it all kind of goes back to that.
And also the rankings.
Yes.
It's guys. It's not us ranking. It's not us being like, we're cooler than this person. So that
this is the top house.
Yeah. It's guys. It's guys being like, these are the hottest girls and they're in this sorority and that's why blah, blah, blah.
And so these are the girls we're going to mix with.
Exactly. And have the more or have like a quote unquote better social life.
Yeah.
It's literally guys that do it. It's not us. Yeah. And that's why I was kind of like, you're trying to like villainize these sororities, whereas like, it's really just not us. It's actually the misogyny and the fraternities and the men on campus.
Literally.
So maybe you should do a documentary about them.
No, literally. And then they show a picture of like the like a group of the guys that were in the machine. It's like all men.
Yep.
From like the early days.
Yeah.
They touched like there was just no through line and so many.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what the point
topics
of it was.
Were brushed over. Mm-hmm. I just like I wasn't like in love with any of the girls. They weren't like charming me and wooing me.
No,
and
I liked the girls that were in
them.
the sorority.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I did end up liking Isabel more towards the end.
My God.
And when we found out about her sexual assault.
Isabel, I was like, this girl cannot catch a break.
No, yeah.
She couldn't I literally wrote, Isabel can't catch a break. I feel so bad for her because I really feel bad for her because she said, I've had a really hard time finding someone that can love me no matter what. And that's what she was looking for in a sorority. And I hope she has found that because I will say like that's like definitely what I found in my sorority. Like I am so like that's why I was so passionate about speaking about this and seeing that documentary and wanting to talk about it because personally, like I had such a fantastic experience. Like I was so lucky that, you know, like I didn't even necessarily like join Zeta. Like people, so I don't know, did you guys dirty rush at all?
Yeah.
We did that. Yeah. It's, I mean, hey, if somebody is going to say that we didn't, you're lying. Every single sorority does it.
Yeah.
Every single one, no matter what. Top house,
you
middle
have the girls
house,
that you're
no
looking
matter
for.
what you are, everybody's dirty rushing.
Yeah.
They want you a part of your organization. If you are a likable, fun person, like they probably want you in their sorority. But I wasn't even really dirty rushed by Zeta at all. I just kind of want to see where I find people that I like the best.
Yeah.
And it was Zeta. And then when I joined Zeta, I found my absolute best friends who are literally my best friends to this day. My best friend Gab, who her birthday was on Friday, like literally all of us were just Zeta girls that went out for her birthday. Like, I don't know. I just...
My friend group of
really
9 girls.
got so lucky. And even like, we barely even had like drama between our friend group. Like it wasn't, I don't know. It just, you just find those people that you mesh with well. And that's what I found and was so lucky to be a part of. And that's like, I just loved it.
And that's the point, right?
And that's the point.
Like
and I don't know why people just have to villainize it. Like,
yeah. But yeah, I had the same experience and they're still all my best friends.
Yep.
And that's what made me like love Isabel was I was like, it sounds so cheesy when she's talking about it because there were a couple moments where I'm like, oh, honey, like don't put too much pressure on like.
And she had a Rush consultant.
I know.
Have you ever
I've
heard
never
of one
seen
of those?
anything like that.
No. That was interesting to me. I was like, I don't think that's necessary.
No, but maybe I guess it is there.
Maybe it is.
It's like something
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think maybe it served her well because the Rush consultant was like, she just doesn't, get to the point enough, or like it was just like little notes, I guess, about how to like be more impressive during Rush.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I was scared going into Rush for Isabel's experience, just because like I didn't want her to get cut from any houses she wanted.
know.
And maybe she did, and she just didn't enlighten us to that.
Yeah.
But she was so vulnerable and cute.
Girl.
But I think also like something that I saw in Isabel was like, she's like, I have even found like, my girlfriends that I fully clicked with. And I felt that way coming out of like high school.
Yeah, me too.
I went into college being like, I hope I find people I really like. And and to your dirty rush point, a lot of my friends were dirty rushed by a different sorority that wasn't tried out.
Yeah, same with mine.
And I think they, liked all the attention. So they started kind of like leaning that way during actual Rush. And I remember being scared because I was like, I'm not getting that attention.
Same, yeah.
I'm not getting the attention from those girls. They don't care about me.
Yeah.
And also, I just know that it's not the place for me. I've been dirty rushed by girls I've already like now become friends with and know is a good fit.
Yeah.
So it was like, I just remember being so stressed. And then one of my friends.
That's definitely a stressful part of it being second semester.
Yes, because you already have some of your friends that you like want to be in the same spot in.
Definitely.
And I remember one of my friends, they accidentally cut from Theta, which was the other but she got cut in an early round from Theta, which was the other one that like lot of my friends
like hardcore dirty rusher.
They had
that
hardcore
happened
dirty
a
rusher.
lot at Elon.
Yeah.
That happened a lot at Elon.
Her and a lot of other girls.
No, but it was one of the other sororities. Like they would dirty rush everybody. Everybody, no matter what, even if they like didn't really think that you were a good fit, they would dirty rush you, which was bizarre. We wouldn't like do that. We would just like, it's like if we met somebody and we were like, oh my God, like I really like her and I would like to be friends with her, you would kind of, it was just like you would just try to be friends with her. You would just be friends with her, but like you wouldn't be like, oh, come to this pre, like, come hang out. Let's do this. You meet my big, meet my little.
Let's get dinner. Yeah. Let's get coffee.
We would like, it's like, oh, we would like invite you to a pregame. Or if you had a class together, it's like, oh, do you want to get lunch at the dining hall after this? And just like hang out with somebody organically. But like the other sorority, like they would dirty rush everybody and then sometimes would cut them the first day. And they would be devastated because they thought that they were going that sorority. And then it's like, yeah, and then they would come to Zeta and be like, "Oh, okay, this is a lot
cool.
better." I'm like,
fun.
"Yeah," because nobody was trying to like artificially become friends with you, and like I don't know, it's just crazy to me. Yeah, people do that.
It's the same dynamic. It sounds like Zeta and Tried Out were very similar.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Elon Zeta.
Definitely.
So, final thoughts.
Let me see if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about. One of the older women made a comment. I don't know who she was, but she said it's uniquely Alabama, which is true. Rush at Alabama is so different than any other school. Greek life at Alabama is different than any other school, but like we didn't really see a ton of how it's that much different. I really wish that they had talked about how long the process is and like shown how tired these girls get and how they lose their voice. Like they didn't show any of that stuff.
They showed an entire year leading up to it, but they didn't actually show us fucking Rush.
Yeah, the Bama Rush.
I think it's because they lost all their girls.
I agree. I also
dropped out. And
because they were just kind of like, what's the point of this documentary? Like, what are you trying to prove? What are you trying to show? That this is a bad tradition? Sure, in some people's opinion, maybe, but like, they're probably like, I enjoy Greek life and I don't see anything wrong with it, so I'm out, but like, good luck.
Good luck.
Exactly.
I think also like the whole thing.
We lost Shelby.
We lost Shelby. Funny. Waiting on a text from an 18-year-old girl. I mean, she was just so dramatic. And
so
I think,
dramatic.
Like there's just so many topics that were like so like scathed over that should have been, like more like in depth. Like I felt like we could have even gone more into like the sensation that was Bama Rush talk. Like, yes, you used a million TikTok videos, but you didn't actually go into the phenomenon of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have talked about Kaylin and how she took TikTok by storm. You didn't even need her involvement to talk about her.
Yeah.
They showed one little video of her. It's like, oh, so you expect me to have all the information I need already about this to go into it. And also, I did think it was interesting how they kind of talked about sororities as like a badge of honor and things you're entitled to, like test banks.
That was the Sigma Kappa girl talking about it.
Right, like it makes it
even though I'm like every single sorority at Alabama probably has a test bank.
No, literally.
Which also we didn't have that at Elon.
I guess there's also like so many girls that
I think
we don't even hear about though that like just don't get into a sorority at all.
Yeah, and
like, it's not very was not very common at Penn, like not getting any sorority.
Yeah, that wasn't very common at Elon
maybe
either.
That happens,
but also they should have tried to get more participants so that they could have gotten a broader
scope
view of the process and how it affects people.
Yeah.
Because if you did get one of those girls that didn't get into a sorority at all, then I think we would have,
Well, I think Holiday and Michaela both didn't get into a sorority freshman year and they were re-rushing.
Oh, was that what happened? Did they rush before?
They rushed freshman year.
Oh, okay.
So,
but see, they still wanted to do it. They still were like, we still want to try.
Yeah.
And then Michaela was like, it's not for me. And Holiday was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think she needed to do that.
I think there's more statistics we could have maybe gotten like on it.
Yeah,
like,
they should have really
percent
done.
Of girls make it to this round. This percent of girls make it to that round. It's voted on this way because I think a lot of people also think of sorority rush like as it exists in the movies.
Yeah.
So I just think there could have been like a more realistic look.
Some people hate it. Some people hate Greek life and sororities and all of it in general. And if you do, that's really fine.
That's okay.
But that's with anything in life. Some people like things. Some people don't. Some people love musical theater. Some people
hate it.
And that's okay. But I loved it. I loved it. I had a great time. And it was funny that she made this documentary.
About herself.
Which I was like, wait, we could have made like a completely different documentary talking about women in society not feeling accepted. It didn't have to have anything to do with sororities. I mean, it could have touched on sororities.
It could have touched on it as a pillar of,
of womanhood and like what you go through in life.
Yeah.
And, women in America. But
100%.
I think that it could have been a much broader documentary.
Yeah.
Not focusing on Bama Rush. I think she probably just saw it blow up on TikTok and thought, this is my avenue. And I'm gonna hop on this wave.
I think what it is at the end of the day was that the whole thing fell apart while it was being made, and they scraped together what they could.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And I wonder if there were any other girls that were participating in it
pulled out
and said, do not include my parts. Which,
well, from a production standpoint, I don't know
if they would be allowed to do that if they already signed a contract.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think when you initially sign up for these things, through a certain point, you get to use stuff with them in it. You're consenting.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but overall, I'm excited just to consume Bama Rush on TikTok like every year, once a year, as it should be.
Now I'm like, let's go back to the fun part of this is cute and fun.
And like if you want to take a whack at it, director, the frats.
Yeah,
maybe would be interesting.
Let's do something about that. Okay?
Let's look into that a little bit.
That's much more problematic than us little sorority girls trying to find friends.
Yeah, like we're touching on how like girls have been roofied multiple times and are like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just blowing over it.
And we're blowing over that.
They're like, she's been roofied 3 times.
There was literally no follow-up on that.
Are we gonna talk about that?
At any point did you say like, and then Holiday and I had a conversation and said that's not okay.
The boys did that? And how the boys control the rankings? Let's make a documentary about that.
We should do that.
Maybe.
Okay, well, that was a really fun conversation.
Love talking about sororities.
And next week we'll be back, TBD, on what we're talking about. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on the page. But we are revving up for Summer I Turned Pretty. And so we'll have like a schedule on
Is it going to be released weekly?
Yeah, I think it's like 3 episodes, 2 episodes. It's like similar to the release of
Daisy Jones.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My friend Ari met Suki Waterhouse this weekend. I'll show you the picture.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Oh my God.
And she followed him on Instagram.
I've been seeing Cami Maroney around.
No way.
Like, the West Village. She must like live around the area.
Wait, what?
So
oh my God.
Your eyes
I'll
peeled.
keep my eyes peeled for her.
Your eyes peeled for her.
I'll just tell her, hi.
But you know what's funny?
Love you.
Yeah, love you. Hey. It's funny because she's obviously a very beautiful girl, but like at the end of the day, she was wearing like a hat the first time I saw her, and like I couldn't quite tell if it was her. And then she was on the phone and she started talking. I was like, oh my God, you have the most specific voice ever. Like that is 100% you.
Oh my God.
It was really funny.
That's so crazy.
And I could tell she like recognized me because then she started like bolting.
Really? Like from the podcast?
No. I knew it was her. Like from standing.
She realized that you knew who she was.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying she recognized you. Like she knew that you made a podcast about Daisy Jones.
She is actually a huge fan of Dramatic Effect.
Like, what?
So yeah, like Cami Maroney watches and listens to Dramatic Effect, and so should you.
Oh my God, yeah. Period.
This message is not approved by Cami Maroney.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, it'll be like a similar release schedule. So we'll probably do a season 1 recap and then dive right in. Love you guys.
Bye. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to Dramatic Effect.
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Dramatic Effect Podcast. And don't forget to leave a rating and review. Love you guys.
Bye.